It began with a young man finding a strange card on the street. On one side were three shapes: a circle, a triangle, and a square. On the back, only a phone number with the words, "Win, and your life will change. Lose, and your life will end." Curiosity got the better of him. He dialed the number. Darkness took over. When he opened his eyes, he was lying in a giant hall with hundreds of strangers. Everyone wore the same green tracksuit, each marked with a number. Round them stood silent masked guards with guns. A cold voice echoed, "Welcome to the game. Survive 6 rounds and earn freedom. Fail, and you die." At first some thought it was a prank, but the truth was revealed in the very first round. Red light. Green light. When the doll turned around and shouted red light, anyone who moved was instantly shot. Screams filled the air as bodies dropped one after another. The man froze in fear, but step by careful step, he crossed the finish line. He had survived the first nightmare. The next game was the honeycomb challenge. Each player had to carve a fragile sugar candy shape without breaking it. Anyone who failed was executed on the spot. Sweat ran down his face as his needle scratched the candy. A small crack almost ruined it, but somehow, he completed the shape in time. More horrors followed. In tug-of-war, entire teams were pulled to their deaths from a high platform. In the marble game, players were forced to betray the people they trusted most. The young man was paired with an old man who smiled kindly. In the end, only one could live, with tears in his eyes. He won, as the old man whispered, "Survive, for me." The gunshot that followed haunted him deeply. At night, players turned on each other. The hall became a battlefield where trust vanished and survival was the only rule. By the time dawn came, the floor was covered in blood. At last, only a few remained. The final challenge was the Squid Game itself, a brutal fight to the death. The young man fought with everything he had, his body covered in cuts, his mind filled with fear. One opponent fell, then another. Finally, he stood alone. The guards surrounded him, but instead of killing him, they began to clap. A suitcase full of money was pushed toward him. The voice announced, "Congratulations, you are the winner." But he felt no joy. He had money, yes, but his soul was shattered. Every face of the dead haunted his mind. He realized the greatest horror was not the games, but how easily human beings could kill each other when survival and greed were at stake. And as he left the place with his fortune, one thought echoed in his heart: the game is never truly over.